Hello everybody, how you doing? Gypsy here, and that was Miss Sonja. So I'm doing a quick video just to share some of what's been going on in our life. Sorry about the dogs. Another reason why I need to get out of the city. Too loud, too many weird smells. Everybody uses some overpowering, what's it called, fabric softener. Whew, it's really not cool when you're walking down a street and all you smell is extreme senses of fabric softener, like really strong. Anyways, that's not why I came on. Came on just to touch base with what's going on. So praying and really putting in some positive energy for the 6th. I finally located a diesel mechanic that lives in San Antonio and does house calls and is licensed. I've had a few other people come and help me. 3 of them were like total failures, did not know anything about diesel engines, much less buses. I had a friend, her husband was helping me for a while, but they are also working and have some other life things going on, so they can't always make it, and I just want to get the bus out. Really, the only 2 things that are left on the engine is power steering motor, because it leaks dramatically, and I guess there's pressure hoses, and then the fuel is it called fuel pump, and whatever goes with that, because there's also diesel fluid leaking, which not sure why, but I was told more than likely the diesel pump. And but it leaks a little bit when it's not running, but when I start it, it leaks a lot. So those are the 2 main things. Then I'll get it out, get it inspected, and all that good stuff. So I have steadily kept working on it on the inside, doing what I can, working on some curtains right now. I've got one side already, curtains are up. I've got 2 more for the other side, etc. But I have also been kind of thinking of something else too lately. This has been since the late spring of 21, May of 21, I bought her. As I said before, the next morning she didn't start, so I was extremely heartbroken, like, what? Just spent all that money. But anyways, so we figured that out, but it took until this last fall because I got my new batteries, and when we were wiring for the ground wire, found that there was a dead battery, which I never even noticed, in a box underneath the bus. So, and everybody kept saying to look under the bus, and I did, but I didn't see it because it's like in a box that looks like part of the underbody. And I did find the little side door, but there was nothing in there, although it looked like batteries had been in there before, so I thought, this must be where they're talking about. And, so I do have powerful batteries in there now, etc., etc. We got rid of the other one. It was actually still wired to the main line, which is what was draining all my other batteries. So I hope that helps anybody in my situation. My bus is a 94. It's a 4-window. It's a Wayne's body. So directly underneath the driver's seat, kind of, but behind it a little, there was a little box that was hidden in the underbody, okay? That's where that battery was. So we got rid of that. On and on and on. The only thing I'm having now is something still is causing fuses to blow. Like, I replaced all the fuses, and then the next day I go out to start it. The key, like when you turn the key, the noise that you usually hear for the glow plug doesn't come on now. The dash sometimes lights, doesn't always. And the key doesn't turn the engine on all the way. Literally have to go outside and hit it with a wrench. Although another schoolie told me, thank you very much, shout out to Parish Schoolie, told me that there's a push button that he found, push starter I guess, that helped him because it took him a few months, so I don't feel like a total ding dong. Took him a few months to figure it out on his bus, so he said just give up on it, because I even contacted GMC. They don't have anything on the wiring for that bus. Can't get any information because it's so far long ago. So I'm going to look into that. I'll talk to this mechanic about that, and if that's what I got to do, then that's what I got to do. So anyways, that's what I'm hoping on, that when I finally talk to these people, because they're closed for the holidays, they don't open till the 6th, which is Saturday. So I'm going to try to get an appointment set up with them and find out if they can come out, look what I have, look at the engine, and then quote me a price of everything. I have somebody that's going to help me with some money, and I'm so grateful for that, to get the last things fixed so I can get it out of the backyard. And then I need to find a welder. So if you're in San Antonio and you happen to be a welder, let me know, because and I do drop my email in here so you can get a hold of me, but I want to weld on a hitch behind it, because now I have a Kia, 4-door Kia Soul. She's a 21. I wasn't expecting this at all, but it just happened last month. And I needed to get around because I've been paying Uber for 3 years, and it was costing me a lot of money. I mean, just to go to the store, most times it was like $20 round trip just to get to the closest grocery store or the closest Walmart. Not even to go to stores that I would like to go to. That was just costing way too much money for me. So now I have a car, I get around, great gas mileage, etc. But I would like to hang on to it for a while, because that way when Sonja and I are stopping someplace, I can leave the bus parked someplace, RV parking or wherever that's legal to leave it for a day while we take the car and go do some extra little errands or whatever, right? So anyways, that's kind of the plan. And if all else fails, I have another alternative. But I've really done a lot. By the end of 23, my goal was to literally let go of anything that was no longer serving me. If those of you who know me, I'm very spiritual, hence the Gypsy spirit. I am very spiritual. I have no judgment against anybody else. I send love out to everybody and extremely focus on positive energy. But I know that also it's something that I also teach my clients is forgiveness and letting go. So that's something I've been working on, was letting go of a lot of stuff. Letting go, like I cleaned out all my paperwork and got rid of anything that no longer, I still had tax papers from way back, like literally destroyed them all, whatever, shredded them, on and on and on, got rid of all that stuff. Went through recently the last thing that I did, November and December, was I went through all my clothes and got rid of tons of clothes, and donated it to a girls' orphanage, as well as some books that I've either read more than once, and or in some cases I bought the book and I never even read it. I was like, holy shit, I totally forgot about this book. But I had no more interest in that topic anymore. So the ones that I mostly kept are all focused on what I do and what I teach, which is all about health, keeping the body healthy naturally, nutrition, spiritual growth, crystal healing, breathing, that kind of thing. So those are the things that I'm certified in many healing modalities, and that's what I do now, is I help people on different levels, mostly in particular women, especially over 60, as I am 66, over 50 even. It doesn't, I'm just saying, but especially those who've gone through traumatic issues, child abuse, spousal abuse, whatever, are dealing with, for myself, I've lived with, the mental illnesses, which they're for real. You just have to accept it. The depressions and so forth, PTSD, anxiety, etc. But there are ways, and I don't take any meds anymore because I got rid of all those like 25 years ago. Personally, myself, I've been on a healing journey for 38 years. First, it was just focused on my gut health and healing my body, so that because I was extremely ill. And then after a while, I figured out that I definitely have some mental things going on, because a lot of things were triggering me, a lot of things were upsetting me, a lot of things were taking me to a level that I just did not want to be, and I didn't like myself. So I went through a lot of therapies and so forth. But it wasn't until these last decade, maybe a little over a decade, I've gone through some, really spiritual healings. And some of those I actually went back and took the class because it helped me so much, and got certified in it. So that is now what I help others with, and just being real with yourself. You just have to be honest with yourself. This is what I live with, this is what I deal with, and I don't want to deal with it anymore, so this is what I do. And a lot of the big secret for me is just, number one, being honest. Number two, also breathing, pausing and breathing. When I feel my body getting excited, I just kind of pause and breathe, that kind of thing. And then I start asking myself silly questions, like, I'm going to let Sandra say hi to this cute little doggy here. But ask myself questions like, why does that upset me? Why is that upsetting me? Like the whole thing. When I first bought the bus, drove great, and then the next morning, and it was pouring down rain too, but the next morning when it didn't start, many emotions went through my mind, like, this girl just took advantage of me, but it's kind of my fault. I was in a hurry and I wanted to get something. Because where I live at, where I rent a room. I don't rent a house. I originally came here because my sister was really ill, and I couldn't stay at her house because I had 2 dogs at the time. But I rent a room, and talk about narcissists. I'll tell you what. I guess that's why the powers that be has left me here a little bit longer than need be, because I needed to learn patience, and I need to learn what is not good for my highest good, and that is definitely not. And I know in the past I've attracted many, many narcissists because that's what I grew up with, and so you attract what you know. So I have learned a lot. I've also learned how to not let what they say or do bother me, and it's actually lightened the mood extremely. Because they can't upset me no more. So that's the best part. And we're not even family. We're not even related. I just rent a room. I buy my own food. I pay my own bills. I take care of my own stuff. I take care of my dog. I have my own refrigerator, etc. When I use the kitchen, I clean up after myself. But narcissists will find something to complain about if you know anything about them. So that doesn't matter. I've figured out ways to keep everything calm and keep everything cool, which is another reason I was in such a hurry. Get a bus, get the hell out of here. But then when it didn't start, I said, well, I guess there's no driving right now. I've got to, I'm just going to start gutting it. And that's what I did. I spent that whole first summer gutting it, cleaning it, blah, blah, blah. And on and on and on. But, so it's now livable inside, and even with a DIY compostable toilet, etc. So anyways, I kind of sidetracked, but it's the only way you're going to get to know who I am and what I do. But anyway, so my other thought recently is that if something does change, like somebody said they'll help me with the money until it's actually in my hands, I know personally at this moment I can't afford everything that the mechanic may ask. There's some of the parts that I can buy. I can buy the parts, but I don't know what the labor's going to be. I have no idea. So if for some reason this person decides to change their mind, then I will have no other choice but to possibly sell the bus as is. Everything's done inside except for the ceiling. I haven't covered it, but it has the wool insulation. Can't remember the whole name of it, but it is the woolly insulation. I just haven't put a ceiling up because I didn't have a vehicle, and Uber I don't think would appreciate it if I went and bought the wood. I had a neighbor who occasionally would take me to go buy some stuff at Home Depot, but I just kept saying I'll do it later. So that's kind of the deal. Is my Kia is big enough that Sonja and I could live out of it, and what I have left, which like I said, I downsized dramatically. If I had to, I would just put that few things into a small storage, the smallest storage I could find, and then just live out of the Kia for a little bit, sell the bus as is, do what I got to do. This way I could live out of my car. I also teach online early in the morning. I do some teaching. I teach children all over the world English, so I could still do that. Plus I also have clients that I help living a healthy life, especially women, who've dealt with health issues due to anxiety and stress and so forth and so on. That is my mission, to help them out, and it keeps helping me. It reminds me where I need to be and so forth and so on. What I share helps me and it helps them, and I really love it. I love serving on that aspect, because it's such a joy to hear them say, oh my God, thank you so much, that kind of thing. So that's my other option. But it's been really gloomy, as you can see, for the past few days. The holidays came and went. and I've done some shorts, but here in a couple days, maybe even tomorrow, it's supposed to get sunny. I'm going to go out there to the bus and I'll do a quick little review of where it is right now and what I'm planning on doing. Okay, so right now I'm manifesting and praying that these mechanics come out, give me a decent quote. The person that said they were going to help me, they still stick to their word, because they actually said it early November. And like I said, I had somebody else who was helping me, and when I said, hey, let's come on over, let's figure out what the last couple things that are needed, let's go get these parts, I've got money coming, let's get this done. One thing after another happened, so I just put it in my mind they obviously don't want to help anymore, and that's fine. And then somebody said, why don't you just search on Facebook and get find yourself a diesel mechanic. So that's what I did. So I'm not used to doing this, so I'm just going to say it now. Please subscribe so that you know when I'm going to post something. I am trying to share as much as I can. I've done several shorts, like I said. Like and leave a decent comment, especially if you have any ideas of whatever. Remember one thing, I am looking for a welder to help me weld on a tow hitch at the back so that I can either one, get a trailer and drive my Kia onto it, and that way it's stable, or if I have to, I'll just tow it. But I would prefer it sitting up on a trailer. That way it doesn't get so worn out so fast, etc., etc. And the reason I got it is to get around easier, like right now. And then also to help build up my credit so that later I can get really what I want, which I'll talk about it another time. So I thank you very much. Sonja thanks you. Sonja? She's like, yeah, whatever. She is a happy girl. She just doesn't look it right now. If you watch some of my shorts, you'll see that she gets, and that's what it is. I haven't released her off the leash. That's because we're not in an area that it's safe. There's too many. Oh, there she goes. Look at that. She loves to take my walking stick. So anyways, I'm really thankful and appreciate anybody. I hope that you've listened this far. Like I said, please like, comment, and give me some suggestions. I am going to try to edit videos. Another lady that I follow, I can't remember her name anyways right now, but she's living out of her car. I really am inspired by her. Quite a few other ladies too, but she was so kind, because I actually asked her how she's editing her videos, and she gave me a name, and she said she just uses their free option. So I thought, well, hell, if she can do it for free, that's even better right now. So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, and I'm so looking forward to living Nomad, because actually living here, this is the longest I've lived here. I had lived out of my car in the past. It was a Subaru. But in 2019, somebody killed it. So stay off your phone when you're driving, because that's literally what happened. I was at a light. There was a truck in front of me, and she came flying over the hill, slammed into the back of my car, which slammed into the truck in front of me. My car went underneath the truck. There's more to that story. I'll share it another time. But so she destroyed it, and so, whatever. And I didn't get much for it. Everybody said go see a lawyer. I did, and the lawyers convinced me to go see all these doctors and get all these tests done and blah, blah, blah. And in the end, the lawyers and the doctors made out like fat cats, and I got a whopping $3,000 in 2020, which, if you know anything about today's money, that's not nothing. And I was disappointed, angry, and whatever, but I just let it go. I just said, whatever, give me my money. So thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment of positivity or some suggestions. I appreciate you all, and Sonja and I say bye-bye. See you later. So Sonja and I are going to go in and make breakfast, etc. So stay warm wherever you are, and thank you so much.